Hi and welcome to Inktober Tangles 2022. I'm Anica, a certified Zentangle teacher from Croatia. You might also know me as Zenlinea, and I'm happy to be here with you for the only second consecutive year. And I'm going to use the prompts for Inktober Tangles that were prepared by Stephanie Jennifer, a CZT from Singapore. Thank you, Stephanie, for doing it for the whole community. I'm going to start the same way I did last year. You know, the first step of Zentangle is appreciation. So please be grateful for this moment that you spent doing something creative and using these wonderful supplies that we use. I have here the original Zentangle tile, Renaissance or 10, and I have a pencil to start with. I started with 2 dots and then just drawing the outline of the border. So I just decided to do the format that I started last year and finished for the last year with these individual tiles that will connect together to form a mosaic. Last year there were 9 of these tiles that connected in a way that they went towards the right and then down, then left, then down, then right again. So they basically formed the letter Z, and we'll see how this one goes. So I started with a line, which is supposed to be a straight line according to Zentangle step out for their tangle rain, which is quite simple, but I'm starting with this curvy or wavy line, and I'm going to just do some very easy zigzag line. Different shapes and different sizes of these triangles are just arising on each side. And now the way to proceed with this tangle according to the original step out would be to just ink in these triangles, but I'm going to add one more string, so one more line that will just go over the first one, and then I will do the same, trying to make maybe not too many of these to make it easier and quicker. I admit it. And then the way to do it is like make just one of them with a straight line and then do the aura lines. I did 2, and now I will do some aura lines, trying to draw these lines that are like parallel to the ones that I have already created, but you know, they're not going to be perfect. There is no need to try to draw them perfectly. Of course, my intention is to draw this aura line parallel to the original lines, but you know, it's not going to be with the exact same spacing between the 2 lines. And I'm trying to focus on each individual line and trying to be mindful about it, draw these lines intentionally, but I'm not going to be upset if they're not perfect. So now I'm going to switch from my PN pen to Graphic One, which I'm doing for this inking in. And you know, while I'm inking in, it's not going to take too much time because this nib is a bit thicker, but still fine enough at the top that I can do some detailed work with the corners of these triangles. And while I'm inking in, I'm thinking that you might maybe enjoy some silence instead of listening to my voice all the time. So I'm just going to take a pause while I'm done with the inking in. I'm almost done. You know, if you decide not only to watch me draw, but also draw along, your shapes might be, or will certainly be, bigger or smaller, or maybe you will just position them in a different way. So you might take a bit more time or less. The good thing about the videos is that you can pause and come back to the videos again. So do whatever suits you best and take your time to finish whatever needs to be finished. I'm going to retrace some of these border lines, but certainly not all of them. So I'm sure that I will not draw anything else in this upper left corner. And I'm just drawing this border line. And since I didn't draw the, you know, conventional rectangle, instead I drew these two strings that are intersecting each other. So I'm not going to draw the aura lines inside. Instead, I will probably play with the shading and highlighting to see where's another approach to drawing this tangle might lead us. So for the shading and highlighting, I think I will try with doing some shading on the right side of the lines and below the lines that are vertical or almost vertical. Not vertical, actually I meant horizontal. So I'm trying to, you know, play with a different way to shade this and highlight. And you can maybe just observe first to see if you even like it before you try to do the same on your piece of paper. These Renaissance styles are, I think, the newer edition, so they are not using the old Renaissance paper, which is very soft. If you are using the old one, you might be more mindful about how you blend these shades and highlights so that you don't ruin the surface of the paper because it's so delicate and soft. But if you are using the new ones, you can do it more freely, I think. I'm going to switch to the small white pencil by charcoal pencil by General Pencils, you know, the one that you would find in Zentangle kits, at least in the US. It really has this very bright white trace left on the paper, so this is what I'm using, just the basic supplies for drawing, shading and highlighting. I was really like questioning myself if I wanted to do something with color, because you know I love using colors in my work, but my intention with Inktober this year is the same as last year, so I want to make it easy and convenient for myself. I don't want to have some goals that I will not be able to achieve, so I just want to do it again easily and similar as I did in 2021. I'm done with the shades and highlights. I still want to add some shiniest highlights with the white jelly roll. I'm using the Jelly Roll 10 just to highlight this corner and one part of the border towards the shaded part, and then I will also add this white gel trace to the aura around my Zentangle, trying to be quite precise with it so that I don't go over any of my black lines. But if I do, it's an easy thing to fix. It's like using an eraser, but actually using a black pen just to retrace any of the lines or shapes that might have disappeared, or maybe might have become blurred with any of the white supplies that you might be using. Perhaps you are using the same basic set as I am. If you draw your lines really slowly with intention, the way that we do it in Zentangle method, you might not need to fix anything. But if you are like a quick tangler like I am, perhaps you'll need to fix a thing or two. But I will add certainly some shades around this as I add tangles later in the following days. So I'm not going to spend too much time fixing this. I want to take a look at this, how it will end up looking after adding some more tangles, and then I can easily just do some fine-tuning and, you know, give some more love to any of the details that I feel need some more love. Until then, just some shiniest highlights around these spikes on the bottom and right side. And I think I'm done with my Zentangle. It's not really a tangle that I use too often, but it is very bold, and maybe I should use it more often and, you know, incorporate it in the design. It's hard, it's difficult for me to find different ways to, you know, draw some tangulations, invent new ways to draw rain. But here's one. of those. So thank you for drawing with me, and I will see you in day 2 tomorrow. Thank you and bye.